All right, today we're going to break down a concept that you'll see pretty much everywhere, from physics to computer graphics. It's called the dot product, and it's a surprisingly simple but really powerful way to understand the relationship between two vectors. So let's just dive right in. So think about it. You've probably learned how to add vectors, subtract them, scale them up or down. But what's the next logical step? Well, how do you multiply two vectors together? Turns out there's not just one answer to that, but today we're going to explore the most common, and you could argue the most useful method. And that method is called the dot product. Now, here's the unique thing about it. You start with two vectors, but what you end up with is just a single number, which we call a scalar. And this number isn't random at all. No, it's packed with information. Specifically, it tells you how much those two vectors are pointing in the same direction, how aligned they are. Okay, so how do we actually calculate this thing? Well, the beauty of the dot product is that we actually have two different formulas that get us the exact same result, and each one is useful in its own special way. Over on the left, you've got the component formula. This is pure algebra, super straightforward. You just multiply the matching components and then add them up. And on the right, we've got the geometric formula, which uses the vector's lengths, or magnitudes, and the cosine of the angle between them. The wild part? Both formulas give you the exact same number. Let's actually put that component formula to work with a quick example. We've got two vectors here, u and v. Our mission is to find their dot product. Following the formula is really simple. First up, we multiply the x components. So 3 times 4, that's 12. Then we do the y components. -2 times 5 gives us -10. And for the final step, we just add those two results together. 12 plus -10 gets us our answer, which is 2. And that's it. That is the dot product. Now notice the answer isn't a new vector in those pointy brackets. It's just a single number, a scalar. But what does this number, 2, actually mean? This is where the dot product goes from just being a calculation to something really insightful. The real secret, the real magic, is hidden in the sign of that answer. Okay, so our result was 2. Let's break down what that one little number is actually telling us about the relationship between our two vectors, u and v. This is how we translate that number into geometry. A positive dot product, like our answer of 2, means the angle between the vectors is acute, so less than 90 degrees. A negative result means the angle is obtuse or greater than 90 degrees. But when you get a result of exactly 0, well, that's the most interesting case of all. Yeah, let's focus on that middle case for a second. What does it really mean when all that multiplication and addition perfectly cancels out and you're left with a big, fat 0? It means the vectors are at a perfect 90-degree angle to each other. They're perpendicular. And the official math term for this is orthogonal. Honestly, using the dot product is the absolute fastest way to check for it. All right, let's test this out. Here are two new vectors. Just by looking at the numbers, it's pretty tough to tell if they form a right angle, right? But with the dot product, we can figure it out in literally seconds. We just run the numbers like we did before. Okay, 6 times 2, that's 12. Then -3 times 4 is -12. Add those together, and look at that, we get 0. So what's the verdict? Yes, absolutely. Because their dot product is 0, we know for a fact that these vectors are orthogonal. They form a perfect 90-degree angle, and we didn't even have to pull out a protractor. Knowing if the angle is acute, obtuse, or exactly 90 degrees is awesome. But what if you need the exact angle? Well, the dot product can do that too. Now, this formula might look new, but it's really just a rearrangement of that geometric formula we saw earlier. To find the cosine of the angle, you just calculate the dot product, like usual, and then you divide it by the product of the two vectors' magnitudes. Once you have that number, you just use the inverse cosine function on your calculator to find the angle theta itself. Let's see how this plays out. Say we have the vectors 1, 3, and 4, -2. Their dot product is -2. Now that negative sign is our big clue that the angle should be obtuse. So when you calculate their magnitudes and plug everything into the formula, you get the cosine of the angle. Then you take the inverse cosine and boom! You find out the angle is 98.1 degrees. The math perfectly backs up our geometric intuition. It's pretty cool. Okay, this is all great for math class, but where does this concept actually show up in the real world? Well, one of the most classic examples comes straight out of physics. In physics, the idea of work isn't just about trying hard. It has a very precise definition. It is the dot product of the force vector and the displacement vector.
Think about it this way. If you push a box straight ahead, 100% of your force is contributing to its motion. But if you push down on it at an angle, only some of that force is actually moving it forward. The dot product calculates exactly that useful part of the force. And get this, if you're just carrying a suitcase horizontally, your force is pulling up, which is 90 degrees to the direction of motion. The dot product is 0. You're actually doing 0 physical work on the suitcase.
Before we wrap this up, let me give you a heads up on the #1 most common mistake to avoid. The result of a dot product is always a single number, a scalar. It's so easy to forget and just automatically put your answer in vector brackets, but remember, you've calculated a measurement, not a whole new vector. So I'll leave you with this thought. We've seen that the dot product is, at its heart, a tool for measuring alignment. In physics, it's the alignment of force and motion. But where else is that idea useful? I mean, think about computer graphics, trying to figure out how light bounces off a surface, or even data science, trying to compare how similar two different sets of information are. The applications are literally everywhere.